Hello everybody, it's Zack Rhodes Level 4 for another weekly update. This time I'm using the correct microphone. Okay, first things first, before anything else, today, 12 p.m. Eastern until 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be a Breath of the Wild race with Wonderful Juans. John and I are going to be having a rematch. This is to help him pay for college expenses. So the link to the multi-Twitch is going to be in the description. There's going to be a Nightbot command to help donate, and also the button on my page links to his thing as well if you're just watching on my YouTube page for whatever reason. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. 8-hour stream. We're going to try to get as far as we can in Breath of the Wild, and then at the very end, the lawnmower is gonna start up. At the very end of the stream, we're going to try to get to Ganon as fast as possible. I'm just gonna close the window so that you guys hear that less. Timing. Am I right? So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Again, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So all day today. So I hope to see you there. If you can make it, that's awesome. If you can donate, that's awesome. If you can't make it, if you can't donate, just helping spread the word on Discords or Twitter or whatever social media you kids are using today would be very helpful. Yeah, I hope to see you there. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a very fun time. So yeah, that's to get that out of the way. Again, the link to the multi-Twitch is in the description. So, seriously, you're mowing lawn at 10:15 a.m. That's rude. It's a Sunday. We're sleeping in today. It's not my dad, is it? No, it's the neighbor. My dad isn't up. Alright, I'm just gonna have to talk louder then. So this week sucked. Good things that happened this week, because there's always good things to find during the bad times. Final Fantasy VII Remake finished. It had a very interesting finale. If you haven't seen it, or if you've been waiting for the Let's Play to finish before starting it, to binge watch it, now is your time. Yeah, had a crazy ending. But yeah, so let's just go through this week, starting from the top. So good things that also happened this week is art. I finished up that fancier version of Melia that I wanted to do. My opinion, it came out really nicely. Apparently, according to Reddit, it also came out really nice. I've started posting some of my art on Reddit in areas that I'm comfortable posting it, like communities that I think aren't going to tear me to pieces. So, one second. So, this is how the Melia picture ended up. And yeah, I put a lot of time into that, and I think it turned out really nicely. Just trying a few techniques with coloring and stuff, just to get like a shimmer on just about everything except for the skin, because skin doesn't shimmer in the same way that clothes does. But yeah, so I think that came out really well. It's a lot darker over here. It looks fancier on the phone. Yeah, I'm just really proud of that. So fireworks festival started up in Animal Crossing, and that was really fun. But yeah, I got a lot of love on the Melia picture here on Twitter, which is really nice. Not all of my, or most of my non-fan art, like art, meaning like art that I draw for John or Luca or Masay. Like most of my non-fan art just has like the same group of people that that likes or retweets it, which I'm not upset that I have a dedicated bunch of people that enjoy my art. But sometimes I'm like, hey, I worked a lot on this, and people are like, that's great. So this Melia is, not to focus on numbers, but the Melia is sitting at 91 retweets and 240 likes, which is, like 8 or 9 times, or 8, about like 8 times more than the average picture. So I don't know what I did specifically right, aside from put a lot of time into it. Maybe, one of the theories that I have is that, like, people don't like retweeting, the pictures that say, Patreon or commission or, have a link to my Patreon in it, because they don't want to advertise on their channel or on their Twitter page, which doesn't sound right when you speak it out, but I feel like just people, don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm advertising this person now, which is what you do when you retweet art regardless. But by me like saying like, hey, this is a Patreon commission, it turns into a commercial. And I feel, no one has said this to me, but I get the impression that people don't like retweeting a commercial for someone else, because that's just how society is, I guess. But I don't know. No one has said this to me, so it's a theory, and I could be wrong. But that's, I think, why a lot of people just don't interact with my Patreon art. It could just be that they don't like it and my art is terrible, but, it is what it is. So what I'm saying is that the Melia picture that I put out there didn't have any of that. It just said, took a little time to make Melia drawing a bit nicer, #Xenoblade. I connected it to the Patreon thread because it was an update of a Patreon piece that I did. But it didn't have any specific commercials in the text, which I think is more palatable to people. But I'm not going to change saying that my Patreon pieces are a Patreon piece. So that's just how life is going to go. I've been doing this for 2 years. August is the 2-year anniversary of my Patreon. This January is going to be the 2-year point of me actually doing commissions. But, my Patreon is 2 years old now, and, I see trends, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think that people, I just don't think that people like engaging with a commercial, when you put it out there, unless you're like a huge person, and like that's the whole point of your Twitter account, and people are following you just to see your commercials. Like the Sakimi-chans and all that. But anyway, that's just my theory on that. So this week was really good for me in Animal Crossing as well. Let's see, the 3rd was Monday. Monday, I got Astrid's photo. Thursday, I got Drago's photo. Friday, I got Anka's photo. And yesterday, I got Coco's photo. So, like, 4 villager photos in a week. If you want to know my secret, I've been feeding them a steady diet of fossils every day. That's all I've been giving them each day, every day, for the past few weeks. So now I'm just missing Wolfgang and Cody and Deirdre. So I'm very excited that I'm almost ready to have a full town of happiness. Let's see. So let's see. Tuesday also. Monday, Twitter just stopped working for me for some reason. This is the start of the bad part of the week. So Monday, Twitter just stopped working for me. TweetDeck kept logging me out. Twitter, I have 2-step verification or something. It wasn't a security problem. It was just Twitter not working. It wasn't letting me post screenshots on my Switch. And I kept getting notifications on regular Twitter, because I couldn't use TweetDeck anymore, that you're over your daily limit for sending tweets. Which, no, because the daily limit for sending tweets is like 2,500 tweets or something, and I wasn't doing that. So yeah, it was weird. It stopped working. The only thing I was trying to post was that I 100%ed Paper Mario the Origami King, which gives you a better ending, apparently. I mean, it does, but there was like a few tough things that I had to do, but surprisingly, I was able to finish that all within a day. So like, they didn't make it to be impossible. It was just hard and a little frustrating until you kind of got the you learned how to cheese the game through screenshotting and going to the menu. Listen, you beat it any way you can. But yeah, so I did it, and it was good stuff. So I did two drawings of Rosalina, one of which I can show you, one of which is on a different Twitter account. I did a few things on the other Twitter account this week, if you follow it. But this is something I can show you. But it's just comfy Rosalina. I just wanted to draw Rosalina in a sweater. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've actually drawn her like as Rosalina and not as a Rosa John, like a Proton John Rosalina thing. So congrats, Rosalina. I finally drew you for real. Let's see. So Tuesday. Hurricane Isaias, tropical storm, whatever it's called, rolled in on Tuesday. I was planning on streaming. I was planning on doing all sorts of fun things. I actually was going to stream earlier because the Disc Only podcast was this week, and power went out 12 p.m. on Tuesday and did not come back until about 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So we had a fun time. Luckily, when Hurricane Sandy came through in 2012 or 11 or whenever that was, 2012 I think, when Hurricane Sandy came in, was it 2012? I don't remember. When we had Hurricane Sandy, it had to have been 2011 maybe. It was a long time ago. We bought a portable generator, a backup generator, like a generator, because power was out from Sandy for several days, so we needed to live. So we got a generator, and we've had it for a bunch of years. We've only used it a couple of times because we never really lost power for more than a few hours at a time. But we got it running here, and we plugged our fridge in, which was nice. And we were able to plug in the Wi-Fi router just so that our phones and everything else would still work. So we had like limited internet and access to charging our phones, but our air conditioning was out, and of course it was the hottest. It was really hot. It was in like the high 80s, low 90s. So our air conditioning was out, and our water was out because we have a well. As opposed to like water piped in from the city, we have our own well underneath our house that uses an electronic pump. So when the power goes out, the water goes out. So we had to try to make do with no sinks. We had to not use the toilets unless we not flush the toilets unless it was necessary, because it wouldn't refill, and it was really interesting. So we just kind of sat around for a while, and apparently like a whole load of New Jersey was without power. Some people are still without power, and it was nuts. Like, they were just not prepared for this in the slightest. But yes, that was Tuesday into Wednesday, which it was just not fun in the slightest. Disc Only podcast was fun. My cousin got married on, had like a wedding that was broadcast on Zoom on Wednesday. So Wednesday morning we had to try to hook up like our laptops and things to, the generator so that we could watch this while I wore a white shirt and shorts and just had that cut off for the camera halfway up because I was not going to sit in a suit in a 90-degree house with no air conditioning. Alright, Pikmin 3 is getting a deluxe edition on the Switch, which is cool. Let's see, no water. A whole bunch of people in New York had like estimates for power coming up in September, which was crazy. Really hope that was just a glitch or something. But yeah, they just really dropped the ball. But at least I got Anka's photo, which was good. So on Thursday, power went out for like a minute, and we're just like, well, here we go again. But thankfully the power came back on after just a minute. But I was like, okay, we're just filling the tubs this time. Like we're not taking any chances. But thankfully the power stayed on. So the other thing for Thursday was that our cat Wubsy has not been doing well for a little while. She's not been as active. She hasn't been eating much. She lost a whole lot of weight. So we took her to the vet on Thursday, and they found a couple of masses in her. And we determined that she would not survive any sort of operations. So there's several masses, so it's some sort of cancer that she has. She's 11, and she's like a Maine Coon cat in 11, which is like around the lifespan of a Maine Coon. But we got her pain medication and something just to stimulate her appetite. She's been eating a little bit, but we made the determination that we're not gonna do the surgery because she probably wouldn't survive and she'd just be miserable from it. It wouldn't help and be expensive. I hate that the money is a big factor, but it is. It would be very expensive to put her through any sort of treatment. So we're just gonna, keep her fed and watered for, as long as possible. Just keep her comfortable and enjoy the time that we have left. So that was Thursday. After coming off of the 27 hours. I don't know when the power came back on Wednesday. It was around 4, so yeah, like 27 hours of power, no power. So yeah, coming off of that, and then going into, okay, well, your cat is dying. And that cat means a lot to me. She was one of my biggest therapy sources when I had cancer, and yeah. It's been a very rough bunch of days, but gonna enjoy the time we have left. So yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that she's happy. And that was the day that Final Fantasy VII ended, so it was interesting to try to hype that. But yeah, she's a very cute cat. And yeah, the last thing that I did, put up a bunch of the Night in the Woods stuff since we didn't have a stream this week, but the last thing I did was a drawing from that I finished last night of the first Patreon piece for this month. And that is I did Tifa in a like Persona style, which kind of hard. You know, the camera wants to overcompensate the coloring, but it came out really nicely. I also have a zoom up on her face here. But yeah, you should see that on Twitter. It's a lot better there. But that was to start off the month, and I think it came out really nicely. And yeah, that's about it. I had other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but over the week, like I've mentioned this before, but like over the week, I think of like things that I want to talk about, and then I think about it more, and I'm like, do I really want to talk about this? And the answer is usually no, or if it's something important, that means I'm going to forget, that I usually forget what it is that I want to talk about. But yeah, I thought about like doing, at the time vlogs and then editing it together like a few people do, just that I don't forget what it is, but I also like thinking through what I'm going to say so that what I say isn't something stupid. I still say stupid things, obviously, but at least I've thought about them, and I know either I know that they are stupid, or I remain oblivious, but at least I've tried. But you know, I tend to try to take my time with talking about things that are important to me, because heat of the moment stuff can usually get you in a lot of trouble that you can avoid, you know? And it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. So, yeah. But, so by the end of the week, I've usually convinced myself not to talk about whatever it is. So if I try to remember, I'll just write it down and compose my thoughts for next week, perhaps. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Like I said, this was just a very hard week. You know, she's still here, but it's just, I had to say goodbye to her on Thursday in case she didn't come back from the vet. And that's just not something that having to say goodbye to, a close friend or a pet that's a close friend. It's just not, it's not fun. So, yeah. It's been an emotionally draining week, and now I'm going to stream for 8 hours. Make sure you check out that link in the description. Yeah, hope to see you there. And thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being awesome. And thanks for caring about the people around you. And not necessarily with my artwork, but thanks for retweeting or liking art on Twitter, because that is literally the only way that it's going to spread. Like, if you like something, not by me, I'm not talking about my art specifically, but if you like someone's art, retweet it, because you don't know what kind of ripple you'll be able to make. And it's really cool to see some of the ripples that happen. As someone who's had viral tweets in the recent, past months, the ripples are very interesting. Yeah, so thank you. And I appreciate you very much. And here's hoping for good things this month. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.